bonnino jiol konole men se bete alla jata kendea filta mum boko CTO block carbon men si jiola chemical be bondi akono pour alla jata kendea sa hen nim filta sabol be kili wo kili na pansun doku na wata tankol fanan sotali kabrim 500 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fanan be mol bulle alsimol tarano sukuta highway mariama kunda johnson wala isimol kumandi 505 5691 796 8270 one stop water limited solutions inata leka jiko be sonende gambia banko
Novelas mi no gunge ci sama kër gi ba xet gi ne duma toog duma tàyyi man daal de moo koy wëri parfum Novelas suñ ko pis ki kër gi xet gi day neex parfum Novelas mooy waaja lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex forest bi dafa neex saxaar ba bi dafa neex lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex Almadina boko pompe xet gi day gunguni lii mooy parfum Novelas baxuur bi dafa neex brise marine bi ak yëpp a neex ak Novelas féppay xeeñ neex.
Good morning there. You're watching QTV this morning, and I am your host, Jenna Busonko, joined by my amazing co-host, Ibrahim Abalde. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Jenaba. It's good to be back here again. It's another edition of This Morning here on QTV. How are you this morning?
I'm okay. Just was under a little bit of pressure. But yeah, I work under pressure anyway every single day. So yeah, we continue, we move.
Yeah, it is what it is. I
Yes.
mean, sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
So we are back again.
Yes, and we're joined by Mamadou
Yes,
Mbodj.
about to take a smooth ride, Mr. Mbodj. And
Are you ready for the ride?
And who's going to be...
I'm always game.
Okay, I love that. Yes, so moving on, we have the African proverb today as usual. We have the newspaper review, and already we introduced our guest, Mamadou Mbodj, is here to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers. And we also have Community Watch, and today we'll be talking about voluntary cleansing exercise in public hospitals. And as well, we have social issues, and today we'll be talking specifically on the diaspora mentorship that has been launched by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in collaboration with IOM. And we'll be joined by one of the mentors, who is Ahmad Cham, in the studio. And also Buba Fatis, Kengman Sweezy, will be here to update us in relation to what is happening in the world of entertainment. So we've not been having the Keeping Fit segment, and I'm afraid yow yaa tax nekkuñ di ko am parce que yow doo dee nangoo dem gym dig nga ñu fi dem gym ba soona.
Well, Jenna, Keeping Fit segment bi xam naa ne boobu moom
waaw
dañ ko war a bàyyi waruloo wax affaire am fii sax
parce que yow yaa tax
waaye yow tam xewuma la de.
I know, right? Yeah, so what is our African proverb?
Okay, let's take a look at this one. Once you carry your own water, you will remember every drop.
Okay.
You know, Jenna, this is direct, and it means a lot. It means you will value things when you put in your effort, when you work for it.
Yeah.
When you have to go through ups and downs to get a particular thing, you will value it more and more than when it is given to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? Taking a look at this proverb, it draws my attention to the fact that sometimes in Gambia here, we have public officials, people who work in public institutions, say public institutions can momoko. The reason is because you pay your taxes. Looking at the amount of tax that I pay, I can't see myself working at a public institution and tamper with some of the resources there.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like my money is going into it. But people do not see public institutions like that.
Exactly.
So the moment you said things that you work for, you value them, that is, you know, that drew my attention to that. So people working in public institutions, please take it as yours. Your money, your tax is going into these public institutions. You're directly paying for the cash power. You're directly paying for water and all of the other bills. So let us take our public institutions seriously. Most of the time, people who work in private institutions tend to take it very, very serious because they know it's delicate.
Yes.
It's owned by one individual or a group of individuals. It's their sweat, so you are very
and they will
careful.
They will do all means to
exactly to make sure that the work is done. And I think the same should apply when it comes to public
I think the
institutions.
narrative here should change. I
Yes.
mean, people should try to inculcate new a positive attitude
Sure,
towards public institutions,
Yeah.
as you know, not only in the Gambia, but it is general.
Exactly.
People don't take them very seriously.
Yeah,
because,
and it's very sad.
You will hear to a point, or someone will tell you, it belongs to nobody. So
It belongs
all
to
of us.
you directly. You're paying your tax. Where do you think your tax is going to? I don't joke with my taxes anyway. I don't know for you, but I don't.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, Mr. Mboj, what's up? What do you think
Yes,
of this?
very interesting remarks there about public institutions. Yes, and the public space generally, nobody owns it. It's like an orphan in many ways. That's why I can just throw anything I want anywhere.
Yeah.
And when I see somebody doing what a person should do, and you talk to them, you tell them, you say, is it your business?
Thief and more of it.
Thief can more of it. That sort of attitude. So you see, these are some of the shortcomings, you know, that's really holding us back.
Yeah.
Without that social togetherness and solidarity, agreeing, being on the same page as it were.
There was a
It's
time
very
I
difficult.
saw a man litter, you know, in the street, and I said to him, "Why are you littering?" He said to me, "Suñ ko fasaniwut, naka la ñuy bale duñ am liggéey." How sensible is that? Comme ñuy bale yoon bi su nekkee ñoom saaniwuñ ay people ñooñu duñ am liggéey. So this means dañoo toog ci kër bi. So how naka la ñoo connecté loolu? Does that make sense?
I mean, does it make sense? Of course
Yeah.
it doesn't, because they will just go and do more productive things.
At the end of the
It
day,
doesn't mean that
maybe
they
venture
really
into
do
agriculture
that
or
sort of thing.
something.
That is just self-serving.
Yeah.
He was just telling you what was convenient to him, and then sort of appearing clever when that wasn't very clever at all, you know. So just self-serving baloney. Excuse my French.
But anyway, I think generally this is a very interesting proverb because it just shows that nit ki loo xam ne danga ko liggéeyal sa boppa, you walk towards it. You probably along the way you got bullied, you got laughed at, and all of that. You did not have the required resources to do what you have to do, and eventually you grab it. You're going to take it
And
seriously.
you know, that reminds me, Jenaba. For example, if someone sends you money from Europe, America, or any other part of the world, make sure you take good care of it, because sometimes you never know what they've gone through to send you that money. You've just seen a bulk and you think it's easy. You start partying anyhow. It's difficult.
But this is really what the proverb is saying, because you had not carried your own water.
Yeah.
If you did, then you will take care of every
It's just
drop.
like individuals who are fed with silver spoons. I'm not saying this applies to all individuals. They are individuals who are fed with a silver spoon, and they're very responsible, well respected. And in fact, there are certain things that they want to achieve without the help of their parents or the influence that their parents have. But probably people like us who are coming from families where we're not quite privileged, we had to, you know, depend on scholarships to people like me, for example, that had to depend on scholarships to get educated from the beginning to university level. Then we get to take everything that we get on a daily basis seriously. So yeah, I think it's a very important proverb. And yeah, it's just something that is a fact that it happens by force. There's nothing to change about it. Once you carry your own water, you will never allow it to drop, or you'll never allow it to spill. So it's just an established fact. So thank you so much, Mamadou Mboj. You are here for the newspaper review. But I mean, now it's a tradition that we engage in them on our African proverbs as well. So Ibrahima, is that all?
Yes, that's all. And
moving on, we go for a
exactly.
short commercial break then. And when we come back, we will head right on to the newspaper review. Do stay tuned.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV this morning, and don't forget that our partners include One Stop Water Solution, Ibrahim.
Exactly.
For all your water filters,
One Stop Solution is the place to be. And where can we find them?
Right there at Sukuta Highway, and in fact, the numbers are right in front of you right now. So
Exactly.
take it, contact them for your water filters, dispensers, and tanks. And to all of the individuals as well following us on social media, thank you so much. We see your comments every single day. Just go on the comment section and give us your recommendations.
Exactly. So
Good ones for that matter.
Yes.
Moving on, what do we have on for air?
Okay, let's take a look at the Foroyaa newspaper. Top official of Jammeh's Bag No Alliance movement orders detained and released. Halifa Sallah PDOIS will not coalesce just to change a face. And of course, we have National Fish Water Liquid Fertilizer Beekeeping Business Enterprise launched. Ganu leader accuses police of abusing their authority. Q Group Foundation and Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education established sponsorship program for students in STEM fields. Yes, first batch of tourists arrive in the Gambia. How can I leave this out? I cannot.
You're representative, Libby. Nakala to the GT board.
Yeah, so
is that all?
This is what we have.
Yeah, so moving on the standard, Finance Minister to present budget on Thursday, and court refuses bail for Truro, accused of stealing over 7 million. And also, Commission on Political Debates meets the Inter-Party Committee over planned presidential debates, and police breakup rival APRC press conference, arrest official, and Megabank, Central Bank sued over $1 million for breach of contract. So that's all we have on the standard. So thank you so much for joining us, Momodou Mbodj.
Yes.
We can see that the Commission on Political Debates met the Inter-Party Committee over planned presidential debates. Already, they've staged a youth component of their debate ahead of the December 4th presidential elections. So now, I guess they're meeting the Inter-Party Committee just to have a relationship with them, to have their candidates obviously battle it out before the December 4th elections.
Yes, and as I understand it, I think there'll be about 18 candidates. You know, we've sort of often said that possibly the number of candidates wouldn't be that many, given that generally smaller parties do not contest presidential elections. But we've been proved wrong, it appears. They haven't done the nominations yet, but from what we've heard, I think about at least 18 have expressed interest in contesting. So that would be quite a logistical nightmare for them. How would you get all 18? How would you arrange it? What format would you take? Yes, I mean, yes, and right now everybody is clamoring for presidential debates. I personally do not think that it does much, to be quite honest. But everybody will seem to be clamoring for that. I'm not sure they've done certain studies. It doesn't change people's minds who they're going to vote for. Really, we have all, in many ways, made up our minds. But maybe it's a nice political spectacle, I suppose.
You're saying it has no effect when it comes to...
Well, they've done studies. It doesn't seem to have much effect electorally. For instance, it wouldn't really change anybody's mind in many ways. They've done studies in the US, for instance, with these presidential debates, and they really started it since 1960. It's really a US invention in many ways. So we'll see what happens. I think what would be far more effective is to have one-to-one with each. You probe their policies.
Okay.
But when you have 4 or 5, you wouldn't get time to really probe.
Then when you ask one individual, then you come back to the next person.
So sound bites will just take over and that sort of thing. One-to-one, you probe.
Actually, for me, I don't have a problem with presidential debates. The problem is it will be very difficult for people to adapt in the Gambia, because I read this paper today. There are people saying on the newspaper they have their votes and they will vote for a person that Jammeh asked them to vote for. So you will look at it, even if at all there is a political debate.
Yeah, so Ibrahim, I'm afraid we might have to go for a short commercial break quickly, and when we come back, the program continues. Do stay tuned.
Mobile service has done it again. Now you can buy cash power with your QMoney account free of charge. Yes, you heard me right. For free! Nothing is cheaper than free. So start buying your cash power from the comfort of your homes with unbeatable services Q-Money has to offer. With Q-Money, life is easy. Visit your nearest Q-Money agent to cash in or call customer care on 133 for more information. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap after handling cash. Stay home, stay clean, stay safe. Q-Money, Sunyu Kalpe. We innovate, others follow.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow. To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Q-Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q-Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q-Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q-Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q-Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. We apologize for that interruption. Now we're back. Ibrahim,
yes.
You were engaging
exactly.
Mr. Mboj.
So as I was saying before that short break, we apologize. Mr. Mboj, political debates, people are talking about it a lot. For me, I think it will be very difficult for people to adapt, considering the fact that the notion that people have only following a political figure, no matter what, even if you are the biggest person who can do debate more than anybody in this country, people don't care when it comes to you being a great debater or something.
There are some people who like that sort of thing.
But they are not many.
Yes.
They are not many. The percentage is very small.
It appears so. But again, when you say that some people will find it difficult to adapt, well, everything has a starting point. You know what I mean? Perhaps we do not have that culture, but we have done so since, I think, 2017, because I remember the mayoral elections during the campaigns. They had a debate at Caraba Hotel where you had all these mayoral candidates. So it's coming in. People are beginning to sort of,
you know, when you look at Gambia,
organize.
Yes, when you look at Gambia, the people, like the people that went to school, when you look at the number is very low compared to other countries. So I think before we adopt to debates and other and things like that, maybe my generation, Jena Basongo's generation, will be the people that will get used to this debate thing.
I said, but you have to start somewhere. If you do not start it now, then you wouldn't get used to it. Everything is about practice. I think it's harmless. I do not think that it will have any material effect really on the votes. What's going to happen? It's not going to change much minds. But it's a healthy exercise to have a nice debate, nice soft play, as it were. You know, and then even one or two people might reveal themselves in very interesting ways. You just never know.
At least it's a chance for the electorate to just get to know the plans that these candidates have. Or even if you're supporting someone already and you decide not to change your mind, but you know your candidate, it gives you a chance to know your candidate better at the end of the day.
Well, I'm not sure whether it will do that. That was why I said, because of the nature of these debates,
Yeah.
you never really have time to go
Because of
into
the structure?
subject, because of the
Yeah,
structure.
I agree with
you
that.
will have 3 or 4 and stuff
Yes,
like that.
true.
And then it would be given a time,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
it were.
yeah.
So you don't really have the
But at
opportunity
least
to
a
probe.
one-to-one,
You know,
then you
they
get
will
to
ask
know
each other.
in
that-
depth.
Yeah, that
True,
would be,
true.
that was why I said one-to-one.
True.
Maybe an hour's program. Now that would be interesting, because that's really when you can probe and really test
Yeah.
their ideas, as it were, for consistency and coherence, as it were. So you can test their ideas for all sorts of things.
Yeah,
But
so-
in such debates, for me, it's just a spectacle. I'm sorry to say this.
All right. So moving on, let's take a look at education, Ibrahima, as Q Group Foundation, in partnership with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, established scholarship program for students in STEM fields. So this particular scholarship program is targeting 10 underprivileged and deserving students every year, and then it includes tuition fee as well as free internet throughout the 4-year period, but specifically targeting STEM fields. So this is meant to increase the STEM workforce in the Gambia. What does this mean for the Gambia?
Absolutely. I mean, for a long time, every study would reveal that we have a huge deficit, there's a deficiency, as it were, in these areas. I remember myself and Ade talking about this at the university graduation. You will have hundreds, as it were, in the arts, be it law, administration, business, but that sort of thing, but not that many, as it were, to the science, technology, engineering, mathematics. That's what STEM is. And that's really what we need now. I mean, we all talk about it. It's a technology-driven world, isn't it? And then most areas, you need these technical people. That was why they had few leaders after independence for whom technique, the technocracy was very much part of the decolonization process. I think of people like Cabral and afterwards Sankara. So we need STEM. It must be part of the whole process of decolonization.
Yeah.
Most things you need engineering so that we can be making our own things. Science, technology, we'll be making our own things and be able to repair things instead of always getting experts from elsewhere.
We've seen now, nothing can work without science and technology now. Everything is changing. The world is advancing now, Mr. Mboj. I think it's important. It's very wise for such to happen. Generally.
Yeah, but Mr. Mboj, you call it colonization or partnership or integration in this at this time, 2021. What do you call this?
We are still colonized in many ways, just that now you have indigenous people who are the colonizers. That's really what the difference is. What I mean by the decolonization process, Sankara had this term calling it to deconnect. As it were, it's high time you're able to do for yourselves. We know how technology is so important, science, technology, and all the rest of it. That was really how Western society sort of searched on because of science, as it were. So we know how significant this is to our deconnecting, as it were, so that we can rely on ourselves and all sorts of things. Right now, we rely so much on the outside. So we are still connected, as it were. We are still colonized in that sense because of that heavy reliance on them, just like as if the colonial state had not really dismantled, which we should do. So it's part of a broader, a more general crusade, as it were, really.
Mr. Mboj, you said we are still colonized when it comes to that area. Don't you think it's the state of mind? It's the mind that we cannot do it on our own. I think that should change.
Well, I hope we are not veering too far out, but our writers, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, for instance, they've been talking about decolonizing the mind for a very long time. I mean, decolonization doesn't just mean independence. Independence is just the first step. And then the work begins. But it seems as if a lot of people thought that, with independence, we said, oh man, that's it, we've achieved it now. No, that was merely the first step. So it's just part of this broader thing of sort of weaning ourselves, weaning the mind from that. dependency.
Because
and
I've
that sort of
seen
thing.
many things that they use when it comes to technology. Certain things are there. They import this from Africa and send it to Europe or any other country for them to work on their technology.
Yes, all the minerals, the natural resources that they need. Obviously, when you look at the iPhone, where did they get all the parts, the constituents, what you need to make them? We all know that. So this is really the key. Instead of doing that, why not use it to make your own thing?
Yeah, at least now I see Rwanda working on a mobile phone as well as a vehicle. So maybe, you know, as time goes on, we'll be able to be independent.
I have seen Mr. Ade using a mobile phone. He said the phone is from Rwanda.
Yeah.
And he have used the phone, I think, for many years, and is still in good condition.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
And you know that in Kenya as well, they're quite industrious there as well. Things are happening. So this is exactly what we mean. Before we can sort of reap, as it were, what they call the demographic dividend, we have to train them, as it were, in the right subjects, in the right areas, so that the whole society can benefit from it.
Yes, so moving on, let's talk about the budget. Finance Minister to present budget on Thursday, and according to the budget estimates, revenue and expenditure that we saw, we know that the Gambian government is prioritizing social service as well as infrastructure development with the estimates that we saw. So what are you looking forward to finally as the minister presents the budget on Thursday?
What's our sort of post-COVID-19 strategy? How do you spur the economy? That is the biggest deal, because without the economy, you cannot really implement much of your programs. That is the bedrock, that is the key. How would you spur the economy? We know, for instance, in fact, what's his name? Honorable Swaibu Toure made similar remarks in the papers today. So there's so much debt. When you have to service your debt, I know that we've been trying to defer, as the president said during SONA, the State of the Nation address. That's it. But when you have to pay so much debt, then you wouldn't have much for social services. That is really what the problem is. And then you are in a situation where you may need to get more grants, more loans to get out of this. So it's going to be very interesting to hear what the Finance Minister will say. How are we going to do it?
Yeah, looking forward to that. And also Halifa Sallah is also saying that he will not coalesce in the name of changing a face, you know. So that is what Doi is saying right now. That is their stance.
Absolutely.
Is it a good one?
Well, nobody is surprised, because with PDOIS, they've got this purity. Can one call it that? I'm not sure. Do you have this purity of ideology above, as it were, winning elections? I once read a political scientist saying that with political parties, you have essentially three motivations. You have those who want to stick to the purity of their ideology. You have others that form machines. They were like winning machines. They will compromise anything to win power. Then you have others who simply want to influence policy. What are your policies that you're going to have? So it appears that PDOIS, and we've known this, we're not surprised, they will stick to their pure socialist message and that sort of thing. And they wouldn't change simply to win. This is their creed.
Interesting. Let's take a look at the first batch of tourists arrive in the Gambia.
Okay.
This is the first flight that landed. It was on Friday, and of course 136 tourists are now in the Gambia to enjoy their holiday, Mr. Mboj.
Yes, and according to, was it Adam Njai?
The director of marketing.
Director of marketing, the estimates, what I read in the paper, was that we'll have, about 50 flights a week. That's quite interesting. So expect 150,000. I do not know about the figures, but I think one thing is sort of clear, even though one should be very careful. I think things would be better than last year's, because last year was just so bad. So I think things will improve a bit. We've all been taking our jabs. I think that has given people some confidence, that's one. And secondly, we know that in Britain, for instance, when you're following the newspapers, because of the lockdown, a lot of them had been so cooped up in their houses now. They're so avid to leave, to go out, to go on holidays. People are sort of feeling claustrophobic. So it could be interesting, you know, it might make some difference, because that's one area that we really depend on. A lot of families depend on that. I live in the tourism development area, and we've seen the devastation and the like. So
well, the Minister of Tourism, Ahmad Ba, announced on television that Britain now allow their tourists to come to the Gambia. But what about other countries? You know?
Well, yes, each will have its own regulation, its own guidelines and stuff. All that we can do is to make sure that as many people as possible have been given the job, because that would sort of reassure them, it will kind of give them some confidence as it were to come, and then just do the right commonsensical things in a pandemic, and then trying to get others also to come. You know, we know that perhaps we might not hit, as the estimates already indicated, we will not hit what we had in maybe 2018, 2019, before COVID-19, but at least it will be better, I hope. It will be better than what we had last year, and then we start building from there. Because I have read Build Back Better, as they call it, because I've read certain studies telling us that perhaps in tourism, things wouldn't return to normal until ending of 2022, 2023, stuff like that. So that's really what the situation is. Hopefully it will be at least better than 2020.
Yes. So, Ibrahima, is that all you have?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much, Mamadou Mbodj, for joining us on the newspaper review, as well as helping us analyze the African proverb. Yes, so viewers, we will go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will head right on to the community watch, and we'll be looking at voluntary cleansing exercises, health in public hospitals, the need to have more of this, the need to have more organizations volunteer to help when it comes to keeping the hygiene of public hospitals. It's not their responsibility, but we always say government can't do it alone. Sometimes we have to come in to be able to support them. So we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will get to take a look at that. Do stay tuned.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information.
Cherry. Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
To build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your Cash Power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
With ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Now, with Aji Bank, you can make your vehicle number plate payments without any hassle. Walk into any of our bank branches or agencies located at Banjul, New Joswang, Karaba Avenue, Bakote, Tranquil Brusubi, Brikama, Basse, Farafenye, Numuyel or Garawal. Your number plate payments now made easy with Aji Bank. For more information, please call us on 422-8405 or 377-5811. Aji Bank, your investment partner.
Welcome back, viewers, from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm here with my co-host Ibrahim Abalde. Already dealt with our African proverb and our newspaper review. We were joined by Mamadou Mbodj. He helped us analyze some of the stories that we have here. If you've missed any of these, just go on to Facebook and YouTube later on to catch up with what you've missed already. So now, we are talking about voluntary cleansing exercises in hospitals, and this is our community watch today. We're joined by Mutar So Mutar, first of all, before we go into the cleansing exercise that you conducted at the hospital in Bekama, let's first of all talk about what your organization does. I know there are things that you do outside of conducting cleansing exercises in hospitals.
Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. I'm good to be here today. Thank you very much. I think we have the association is called Lawaga Development Association.
Yes.
And it was founded, since 2017. The objective of bringing together all Lawaga families, both abroad, both Senegal and the Gambia, coming together and making sure that we at least try to come together under one umbrella and see how we can help and develop the Lawaga family, or try to bring their values and their beliefs. So, I mean, when we started from a very, small group, but then, gradually we are expanding. I mean, people were coming because they saw that, this is unity, we are coming together, and it's like, we are doing the right thing. So since that inception, we've engaged ourselves, because we had a constitution, we prepare ourselves in such a way that since it's a group, and a group cannot be just one person, it need to be and we need to be controlled by a constitution. We've wrote a constitution, and the constitution we register it, and then we've tried to make sure that we work according to the constitution by making sure that every end of month we will converge and contribute a little amount. We started from $50, then we gradually went to $100, and then we want to make sure that at least anybody who had problem, even in the rainy season, or you had a short of medical attention at the hospital and whatever, we come and, we come to your aid, because very recently we had engaged in different medical attention, attentions, those who are having constraint to pay their medical bills and whatever, and those who had their houses been that windstorm had removed the whole roof and whatever. We contribute towards that and many other things. So actually, that's actually in a sense what we normally do as an association.
Interesting. Yeah. The reason why I had to ask that is because I mean, organizations, when they're put in place, they venture into different activities. I'm sure not specifically onto the reason why you're here today, which has to do with conducting cleansing exercise in public hospitals. So why the need to chip in, considering the fact that already these hospitals have cleaners, obviously, but like I mentioned before I started, then we get to bring in collective efforts. So talk to us about that initiative that you just started recently.
Yeah. Anyway, that initiative also was backed by the need to make all inclusive when it comes to development, because this government cannot do it alone. Individual cannot do it alone. Even the hospital itself cannot do it alone. We felt that as association, it's part of our corporate social responsibility to contribute our quota towards, that hospital. Because that hospital, had a very big catchment area, more than maybe 100 villages, if you can say, even as far as customers. So for us, to make sure that at least we tip Birkama was, in line with that. And then, we started it almost 3 years back, and every year, alhamdulillah, we used to come and do our quota. And we used to make sure that by 95% of the hospital, before we leave should be, you know, very clean. All the grasses will be taken care of. You will bury all other, you know, holes and whatever where, you know, normally, you know, have stopped water or whatever. We normally, you know, do all that just to make sure that at least we play our part, because they alone cannot do it. They have a very old caretakers who cannot even maybe do a lot. So we felt that, okay, we have to make sure that we also participate our quota, try to make sure that at least chip in and show other organizations also, or, you know, other, you know, association to also, you know, emulate, because this is something that we have to do. We cannot do it alone, and, you know, we need people to come and do it. So we also, you know, take it upon ourselves to make sure that at least this is ours, and, you know, we have to, you know, chip in.
Okay, let's talk about partners. Is there any organization that you're partnering to support you? Because when you're doing such kind of a job, you need tools to do this job. Do you contribute and buy the tools, or do you have people that get you these tools?
Thank you, Banle. Here we are talking about volunteerism. We're trying to volunteer, and then normally we used to, you know, ask our members when they are coming to the program or coming to the exercise, let them come with their tools. Someone would come there with their cutlasses, with hose, with rigs, and other things. Sometimes the hospital also have, you know, hose and whatever they provide us with, and maybe wheelbarrows. So normally this is how we conduct the exercise. But then actually people used to come with their, you know, materials, and then, you know, the other material that we used to find at the hospital, we also try to make sure that, you know, we jump in. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
I would like to, what will you say to this allegation that most of these organizations, they just gather and do a cleaning so that they can be able to attract funds from somewhere, so that at the end of the time they'll put those funds in their pockets?
Interesting, Banle. But then our association is, I can say, it's a different thing, because today, if we were like we in for cash or in for money or in for popularity, we would have, you know, at least, you know, take many offers that were given to us, even politicians, other, you know, people that wanted to use us on us, whatever, because it's clearly speculated, spelled in our constitution that we are non-political. We don't deal with politics, because if you want to, you know, put politics in this, the next minute it will not last. When the politics goes, or the politics is off, your association, you know, is likely to go off. Secondly, people have different divergence as far as political views. This guy is supporting this, this guy is supporting this. So if you are together, sometimes, you know, if you don't mind, you know, you can crash each other. We know politics, how dangerous politics is. So we clearly spelled in our constitution that we are non-political.
Okay.
And secondly, whenever we are going to the cleaning exercise, we used to get our breakfast ready from our own pockets, because the contribution that we are doing, we used to go and, you know, withdraw some from there, and then, you know, go and prepare a breakfast with water and everything. Even the hospital staff, we will serve them.
What do you have for breakfast?
Beans. Beans.
Anyway, moving on.
I should ask that question. No, it's a funny one.
Beans and bread. Beans and bread, wonjo, and other stuff. That's,
okay.
But actually, you know, that's what we normally have for breakfast. But then, you know, we used to even serve the hospital just to tell you that we are there purposely to help.
Okay.
To volunteer.
So, Mr. So, what
Yes,
plans do you have now? You've talked about health, conducting cleansing exercises at hospitals and the like. So, what more should we expect from your organization?
Yeah, for sure, Jenaba, we are a little bit constrained with maybe some of the manpowers that we should have to at least get into every Gambian life. We are not only trying to limit ourselves just for the Lawaga family, but we want to make sure that at least every Gambian or any region, you know, will felt who is, you know, the Lawaga Association. But then we don't have that powerhouse right now. We are constrained by, you know, funds, because the only source we have right now is, you know, by contributing monthly. Do you understand? Okay. There was a time we engaged in how to call it, fundraising with Tata Dinding, but then that was just a once program that we did. You know, but the rest is just contribution, purely contribution. Okay. So obviously we were constrained by, you know, funds, and then I'm appealing anybody who is a well-wisher and ensure that, you know, what we are doing is genuine. At least, you know, should get in to make sure that at least we try to help each other, because this is everybody's, you know, work. It's not just, you know, for me, Mutar, or, you know, any other guy. but for the whole country.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Mukhtar Sow, and thank you so much for the work that you do. Like you mentioned, you're calling on well-wishers and any other person who would want to support through your organization. So who wishing you good luck in relation to that and the work that you do there. So thank you so much for joining us. We will now go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will take a look at the Diaspora Mentorship Program that was recently launched by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in collaboration with IOM. So do stay tuned. When we come back, the discussion will be based on that.
Right time, right place, right price. Promote your product, business, and brand to millions of viewers nationwide or across the globe. Call QTV Marketing on 32-44444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm for all your advertisement needs. QTV Gambia, right place.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Novelas ni ma gunge ci sama kër gi ba xet gi ne duma toog duma tàyyi man daal de moo koy wëri parfum Novelas suñ ko bis ki kër gi xet gi day neex parfum Novelas mooy waaja lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex forest bi dafa neex saxaar ba bi dafa neex lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex Almadina boo ko bombee xet gi day gunguni lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex brise marine bi ak yëpp a neex ak Novelas féppay xeeñ neex.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning here with my colleague Ibrahim Abalde.
Yes.
Yes,
and,
just to
we are going for another segment.
Yes, so before that, just to remind our viewers that I'm part of our partners, One Stop Water Solution, for all of your water filters, for all of your tanks.
They are reliable, they are affordable. Yeah. So we'll get your water
and
filters.
you know, their customer service is very good. Their customer service is top notch. It's right there at the Sokoto Highway. The numbers are right in front of you. You can window shop, you know, man dem nafa. You ma forget.
Oh, really?
You ma forget ba.
Man.
Ayo dem angulo yo. Yes. Yes. So moving on, we'll be talking about now the Diaspora Mentorship Program. Recently, if you've been following developments, you would realize that IOM, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has launched a Diaspora Mentorship Program, and we're joined by Ahmad Jeng, one of the Diaspora mentors. He's a social commentator, a reader in international relations, political science, and humanitarian action at the Uppsala University. Thank you so much for joining us here on this program. Yes, so first of all, before we talk about the mentorship program, let's talk about, let me just take you back to 2017 when President Adama Barrow delivered this policy statement on the diaspora, which highlighted key commitments, including the expansion and the enhancement and the optimization of the diaspora in national development. As an individual living in the diaspora at that point in time, what did that mean to you?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Jenaba and Ibrahima. It's so good to be here again. It meant a lot, actually. I think I would say it was very late for the Gambia to actually realize that the diaspora, it's been very instrumental in policy, in shaping policies, but also in enhancing development. So when President Adama Barrow came and made that announcement, I thought, okay, here is a government that is actually ready to engage. So we've moved, Gambia have moved from having a kind of a denouncing government to a government probably that's ready to engage the diaspora, which I thought was really important, and I think it was a good decision.
All right, so probably we can use that as a way of saying that statement actually led, you know, at least, you know, it paved the way to us being here today discussing a diaspora mentorship program.
I think it did a lot. It led to the creation of what today is known as the Diaspora Directorate, Diaspora and Migration Directorate, which is under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Corporations and Gambians abroad. But also in that conference, the President declared the Gambia diaspora as the 8th region.
Sure.
Many countries in Africa actually have already done that. They've declared their diaspora as regions abroad. In places like Haiti, which is not, of course, in Africa, you have, they call it the Republic abroad, which is, I think, taking into consideration the important role that a diaspora can play in development.
And Ibrahima, just yesterday we were talking about the fact that the Minister of Foreign Affairs was highlighting the contributions of the diaspora, citing that 48%, you know, in terms of remittances.
Well, it's important when you look at the role that the diaspora play when it comes to our remittances in this country. And I quote, the minister also said, Gambia is among the 15 countries with the highest number of educated migrants. When you look at migrants in other countries, they are handling a whole lot of positions. It's very important.
Yeah, I think that can be explained by many variables. Many reasons can explain that, why the Gambia diaspora is highly educated. A lot of us left during the former regime. A lot of us had graduated from high school or college before we went to before we left to Scandinavia or other parts of Europe or the United States. But also we didn't have any conflict in the Gambia, like a war which would lead to a lot of refugees, displaced refugees moving to Europe, like other places. So a lot of the people who actually left this country had actually at least got the means to do that. It's important also to mention that if you look at research, you realize that poor people actually cannot travel abroad. They can travel probably, but maybe to Senegal and other places. A lot of the people who take the back west are actually from a better of families, I would say, because they would need to have money to fund their
And at the end of the day, when they get stranded, then they have to keep on sending the money.
Exactly. So you can see that in terms of mobility, the poor people are just probably moving from within the region, but they cannot go beyond. So you can see that the nexus, the argument that people travel because they are extremely poor, it's also questionable in a sense.
In the sense. So now let's talk about the diaspora mentorship program. You know, it's when stories were published in relation to its existence, a lot of people started questioning and interpreting it differently. Yes, I know the interpretation, but I'm just going to allow you to tell them really what this entails.
I think before we proceed, I would say I am here in my capacity as a private citizen, right? And I'm not holding brief for the government or for IOM in that sense. But it's important to know that the diaspora mentorship, of course, everywhere, in many countries, wherever there is a program related to the diaspora, people tend to see it differently. It gets a lot of reception, different receptions. But I think, in a sense, what it means, it's the government had, since 2017, of course, came to the realization that the diaspora is important. Now, in order to harness the diaspora's potential, we need an institutional framework. We need to institutionalize the way we deal with the diaspora. It's not just like it used to be. So I think politicization of diaspora questions, it's not only Gambia, it's many other places as well. But I think it's important that we put a little bit politics aside and see that
but probably because of the period that we're in, this diaspora mentorship program is coming within, you know, an electoral cycle. December 4th is around the corner.
But
so it's really expected that
but the idea actually, the idea has actually they had diaspora mentorship last year. So this is not the only year. Last year they had, I think, 29 mentors actually from different parts of Europe. This year they had only 4. Which is me, who is attached at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 2 at the Ministry of Health, and then 1 at the Youth and Sports. Previously, so it's not, I don't think it has to do with the election
Yeah,
year.
what I'm trying to explain here is within this period,
Yes,
whatever happened,
yes,
you know, it's quite normal. Yes, it's very normal.
Yes,
that-
the launching of the regional electrification project in Soma.
Yes,
actually,
the OMVG.
Yeah, OMVG. That's good. I mean, people would actually think, oh, it's election year, that's why
the
it's
thing.
been launched.
Yeah.
Everything has its something that you can relate it to, I think.
Yeah,
well, for
so
the
that's
fact
just-
that this was not the first time it happens, and
Exactly.
it happens last year,
Exactly.
as you mentioned.
Exactly.
But right now, this
But
is
the
a
fact
very
that it's happening
sensitive
now,
time.
then
Yes,
it can
okay.
still be related.
I don't
to
think I don't think there is a lot I can do right now to affect the way the diaspora votes.
Yes.
You know, or the way the diaspora thinks in terms of politics. You know, what I am trying to do is to look at strategies in the next 2 years, what government can do. So there is nothing that I propose in the guidelines that should be implemented before elections. You know, election is just at the corner.
Yeah, so talking about guidelines, the mentorship program has to do with skills transfer. So what are some of the plans that you have?
You want me to reveal all the plans before
Well,
I
at
reveal
least
them to
tell
the
us
minister?
some. Well, I mean, this is this morning where things are reviewed.
definitely.
So just tell us some of the plans that you have, you know.
I think I have come up with few guidelines. One is that the government needs to create a kind of a diaspora mentorship, where children mentorship, where government would lead initiatives and of course have children from the diaspora come to the Gambia and teach them about culture, the tradition, you know, and all of this in a kind of a fellowship for a month, right? It can be in the winter or it could be in the summertime. Why we do that? I think it's important we look at sustainability.
Okay.
People like me, I am grown enough to decide if I want to return to Gambia or not.
Okay.
Gambia shaped me in a sense that I am more associated, the affinity is already there, right? But children that are born in the diaspora, they don't know so much about the Gambia. And these are the children that we will need to develop this country in the future. So we need to target them now. And to do that, we need to at least create that sort of love for the country, the nostalgia for the homeland. And you cannot create that when kids do not know so much about the history and the culture. So I think a fellowship program would bring these kids to the Gambia, teach them the tradition, the culture. That would also boost their morale when they go back home, because then the kids will not bully them back home, let's say in Sweden. You know, when the white kids say, you don't know where you're from, the kids can tell them a lot about the Gambia and all those places. We have a lot of Gambian multi-generational kids in Sweden. A lot, actually, a lot more than you can imagine. So I think it's important we look into that. Another thing would be a mentorship program where I, who is a political scientist, would probably have a mentor who is at the UTG, a kid going to the UTG, a child, let me say anyone, a student at the UTG.
Yeah,
exactly. At the UTG, I feel old sometimes.
Yeah.
At the UTG and mentor them about, let's say they are interested, they are in political science, they want to go into different areas. I can tell them, this is what is trending. In the next 10 years, this is the area in political science that will be so much interesting. Go into that, go into development studies, go and do foreign policy analysis, you know, study China, which is a rising power. So, you know, that mentorship program, that shape this child, this student, probably in the future they would be able to.
Can I be that student?
If you give me one job.
Yeah, so moving on,
Yes.
I want to know if diaspora mentorship programs have worked in other countries, and what worked, what did not work. I know you probably must have done your research to know some of the lessons learned, so that at least your implementation in the Gambia can be different.
Yeah, it worked in other places like Philippines, for example. Philippines has a very good, I think, diaspora approach. Because Philippines also relies so much on remittance, just like the Gambia. It also worked in places like Turkey. If you look at Turkey, the Turkish citizens in German, actually the kids that are born in German, they speak more German, more Turkish than some of the Turkish kids in Turkey. And you see that the nationality, like the nationhood attachment is there. If you look at Mesut Ozil, who plays in Arsenal, and Gundogan and all of these people, you know, they do go to Turkey. They have investment in Turkey. They, you know, they have good relations with the people in Turkey, even though they play for German national team. So you can see different approaches work, but also there is this issue of politicization. You know, you have political factionalism that you cannot take away in terms of the diaspora's state relations. I think that is rooted also, it's rooted when you look at it, the reason can be that different between expectations and realities. The diaspora probably expect a lot from a government that is not, that doesn't have the resources, but they also want to always put things into comparative perspective. Oh, I live in Sweden, electricity never goes. I have internet wherever I go. Even if I go hiking, there is internet, there is everything. Why can't I have internet when I am standing at Gamtel in Banjul, in the capital city? So those kind of nuances, you feel like it's frustrating in a sense. But I think sometimes people like me, I need to come down on my high horses and know that, okay, we are struggling. We less than 60 years old since we gained independence, right? Building a nation takes time. Of course, we shouldn't face all these challenges today that we face. But I think with the right mind in place, right approaches, hopefully we will get there.
Well, all this thing, when it works, it will be very advantageous to our country and its people.
Yes.
Anything that you do, sometimes you must find challenges.
Yes.
This process, what challenges are you facing currently?
I think trying to map out, to know where the diaspora is. It's difficult, especially trying to get data and statistics. The government will tell you there are more than 200,000 Gambians abroad. IOM will tell you there are 114,000 Gambians abroad.
So it doesn't tell you.
Exactly. And then some statisticians will tell you, oh, there are 118,000 Gambians abroad. None of them, it's I would say, it's reliable in a sense. Yeah, so I think getting the data it's been a challenge to not only me but also to the ministry and even international organizations.
Yeah. So have you already started dealing with individuals in relation to the work that you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
What is their perception of this diaspora mentorship program?
We've had some interviews with some members of the diaspora who actually shared similar theme, I would say. And that is actually the challenges of resettling back home. It could be the fact that some of them need proper settlements to return home to work. But one of them mentioned something really important, and then she says, returning home from the diaspora, it's a choice. If you take the choice to do that, I think you should also know that there are challenges that you have to face. And you should be prepared for that.
Right, wow. That's
interesting.
That's interesting. This reminds me of the individuals that you connected us with. What's the name again?
Well, it's...
with the GT board, the ones that decided to come back to Africa and settle.
Exactly.
And beyond, you know, beyond all odds, they decided to do it. But it takes a lot. You talked about racism and bullying at some point.
Well, I'm just thinking about adaptation. The process will be very hard at the beginning. So there should be a lot of work.
Exactly. I think this is also a challenge that I am facing also as well, working with not only the ministry. The ministry, they have really wonderful staff, but my engagement with other people. You realize that you have to meet people halfway, because the way you work in Europe, if you want to work like that here, it's not going to work, especially because I was supposed to be here like 15 minutes ago. Because of the traffic, then you realize that you are caught in traffic. So you need to, I'm not saying you should just leave everything that you had known or learned abroad and then just adapt the Gambian way. The Gambian way is not the best way, the European way is not the best way, right? But you can kind of try to find a synergy, right? Where you meet people that you work with halfway and they meet you halfway. You know, I think that would help in a sense. Going back to the question of racism.
Yes, I am so particular about racism. The fact that you mentioned it in there, now I'm interested to know, you know, how bad is it, you know, as Africans living outside of the country?
I think, especially the diaspora, we face a lot of problems. The problems we face is that you are not so much represented by the government that hosts you. And you are not also represented by the government that you left behind. So you are in this kind of trying to sort of an identity crisis in the middle, you know, search for identity. But racism is it's a defining feature, I think, in the immigrant's life. I think it's not something that you can escape just easily, I think. But it also depends so much on where you are, and also your level of education also matters when it comes to racism. But we have, but I have to tell you, maybe it's something a lot of people might see the same, might feel the same experience. Living in Sweden, I face more racism from immigrants than I face from Swedish citizens.
Than
yes.
citizens of Sweden.
How?
Exactly. Some people might define, oh, it's not racism, it's discrimination. A lot of racism from, I would say, the Middle East. People living in Sweden. They would say so many shit about, sorry for the language, so many things about us black people, and then we also will somehow say something, you know,
you
start firing.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
You know, we backbite and then all of that. But then the discrimination also, it's something that we face from non-natives, I would say, a lot. I experienced that. I experienced a lot of uncomfortable moments with non-Swedes than I did with Swedes.
Okay, so before you leave, I know this is not the topic, but I just feel like we need to talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
I looked up your profile, and to be honest, should I say impressed? Is there another word that I have to use to replace this, considering some of us are not halfway there as a social commentator and a reader in international relations, political science, and humanitarian action at the Uppsala University? Maybe if someone mentioned a diaspora mentor, they would expect to see probably an older individual, you know. So how were you able to manage to juggle not being in your own country and having to achieve all of these things in terms of academics?
I think it's an interesting question that I can talk about the whole day if you ask me. When I moved to Scandinavia, I didn't know anything actually. I couldn't speak the language, so I had to. I said that a few days ago. I had to start from scratch. But then when I came, I think I published an article a long time ago. Somebody wrote to me from the UK, Dida Halake. He used to be the former Observer, I think, editor. He was like, my brother, I read the article and it's wonderful. Please spend the next 10 years studying.
Wow.
Because he lived in the UK many years. So getting that advice from people like that and a lot of other people who encouraged me to just go into academia was something interesting. And I felt like, okay, I came to Scandinavia where university is free. Actually, government had to pay you money to go to school.
Exactly.
You get funding every month from the government while you go to school. And then you had this opportunity to study in all these great universities you want. The UK, Oxford, you can go to the Ivy League, Cornell in the United States. You can go to Toronto, you can go to Canberra, in all these universities. Because Uppsala University is actually a great university in itself. So you see, you feel like, you know, you coming from Gambia, you are very hungry. You need to study, you want to study, have this opportunity to study for free and get funding. You know, so I felt like I can do more studying and getting the degrees that I needed than just focusing on maybe working on menial jobs. So, you know, no offense for that, but I felt like since I had this background and the talent, at least to do something, I thought I should go into academia.
All right, and here you are today as a mentor.
Yes,
then probably if you just grabbed the job, you wouldn't be sitting with us here today.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
so
true.
thank you so much, Mr. Ahmad Jeng, for joining us on the program. Looking forward to seeing you implement some of the activities that you talked about. I am particularly interested in the children that you are planning to bring here to get to learn our culture, to be able to say things. I think that one I'm pretty interested in, because I believe in grassroots projects. You know, it's important. Yes, so Ibrahima, I'm afraid that is all we have time for.
Right,
thank you so much for joining us.
You,
yes, so moving on, we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Buba Fati to take us through what is happening in the world of entertainment. Do stay tuned.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
To build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With the touch of your fingers,
With ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Now, with Aji Bank, you can make your vehicle number plate payments without any hassle. Walk into any of our bank branches or agencies located at Banjul, New Joswang, Karaba Avenue, Bakote, Tranquil Brusubi, Brikama, Basse, Farafenye, Numuyel or Garawal. Your number plate payments now made easy with Aji Bank. For more information, please call us on 422-8405 or 377-5811. Aji Bank, your investment partner.
Right time, right place, right price. Promote your product, business, and brand to millions of viewers nationwide or across the globe. Call QTV Marketing on 32-44444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm for all your advertisement needs. QTV Gambia, right place.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, Q Money and Ria just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from Ria directly into your Q Money account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any Q Money agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, Q-Power and other Q Money services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. Q Money, Sinu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply. To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Your favorite mobile service has done it again. Now you can buy cash power with your Q Money account free of charge. Yes, you heard me right. For free. Nothing is cheaper than free. So start buying your cash power from the comfort of your homes with unbeatable services Q Money has to offer. With Q Money, life is easy. Visit your nearest Q Money agent to cash in or call customer care on 133 for more information. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap after handling cash. Stay home, stay clean, stay safe. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. We innovate, others follow.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. Ibrahima, we're back again.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's time for Click.
It's a great Tuesday morning, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, viewers. I'm Skengman Suzy, and this is the Click segment that comes away from Monday to Thursday. With me in the studio today, I have Hood Prince. It's a pleasure, man.
It's a pleasure to be here, too.
Hood Prince with me today. He's a studio recording artist.
Yeah, last time it was Face of Gambia, and today is Hood Prince.
Today is Hood Prince. He's repping the hood full time, man.
100%.
For real, man. Hood Prince, tell us about your music career.
Okay, what do
you
want
to know about you? It's the first time on the platform.
Yeah, first time on the platform.
I believe people that know you already, and other people also want to know you as well. So tell us a bit about your music career.
Okay, officially, my music name is Hood Prince on all media platforms. I officially started by professional music 2018. I live in Banjul, but currently I'm living in Kanifing. I do music and also I'm a student.
And shout out to all the Banjul, massive.
Big up to everybody. Yeah.
You're a student. Which school? Which school you attend?
MDI.
MDI. What are you studying?
Computer science.
Nah, I'm glad. our Gambian artists are doing it big out there, man. You're doing science, computer science.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure, man. What was the first project that you dropped when you started your music career?
Officially?
Yeah.
Deserve This.
Deserve This?
Yeah.
And did you work on any EP from then?
No.
So
But I'm about to drop an EP.
That is why you're
everybody
here,
should
man.
watch out for that EP.
That is why you're here, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the EP, bro. How many songs from the EP?
7 songs from the EP.
What's the name of the EP as well?
Moments.
Production. Who's doing the productions for you?
Stylish.
Stylish.
But I have beat makers that I worked on the project. The likes of Uche, Pluto, Brainworks, and Lex.
I told you, Uche is doing it big in the Gambia.
Yeah,
man.
he's doing it big.
And
You
he
should
just
watch out
dropped a song with Uche not long ago, man.
Fire.
That song is just less than 5 days, man.
Yeah,
that song is fire, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that song, bro. You and Uche, how did you come about with the collab?
Like Uche is my G. Like we have been working together for a while. So like when I went to him, I presented the project to him, and like, you know, I asked him to make the beat for me, and I showed him the idea. Then like he decided to jump on the project with me.
Visuals as well, man. The visuals are important, man.
Yeah, thanks.
And art, you're doing big. We're proud of you, bro. Let's talk about it, the visual. How many days shooting?
It was just one day, but it was really hectic, you know.
The location doesn't even seems like in the Gambia. I don't know whether the video was shot in the Gambia as well.
Yeah, it was shot in the Gambia.
Locations, I need to know. I'm going to explore, actually. But we're going for a short music break.
Yeah.
Let's watch the video, and when we are back, we continue the interview.
Okay.
Uche. Hood Prince. Man, man, you know my moment. Me mayon wajibul makonye. Fonse blow, fonse million content. Ding and bang, ding and book a pussy till no problem. Why man, you know my moment. Yeah, me mayon wajibul makonye. Fonse blow, fonse $1 million content. Ding and book a pussy till no problem.
People nowadays I don't talk and do. New yaga di was stories cock and bull. I game in your head sound in it get too. Te davan jara sawa you kebe too. It's not been known if you so be cool. Internet on you roche cool. Face smiling you want any matter twin. But the friends are konyani boy rendezvous. Yala di deplu nyao. You have on la betu balancing gang. Serangula jitu si cowring round it. Yala bi dega du tit beni down. My tanga ni fool. Fully loaded like a plotting cool. On the fast lane with a man them cruise. Man they go top 10 cause let's be do.
Man you know my moment. Me mayon wajibul makonye. Fonse blow, fonse million content. Ding and bang, ding and book a pussy till no problem. Why man you know my moment. Yeah, me mayon wajibul makonye. Fonse blow, fonse $1 million content. Ding and bang, ding and book a pussy till no problem.
Hey, project we touch and jump. In a song drop, like explode any bump. Lyrics in tanga with dugas and whole bass in mommy di like and again in a song. Now down in a mola kata, na mola cool, mola tina sefa. God bless all the hustlers. You ligate the gum nanya base in a bar. You ligate bubara get feng. So toge lune fuck my hang. You go you want talu my land. Squad left, gang. My tele roof when a lungo sina. Jiki taka for pala yesinang ila jiki dan. Tolka waleta, di pondas and talibin tolbuka ma.
But man you know my moment. Me mayon wajibul makonye. Fonse blow, fonse million content. Ding and book a pussy till no problem. Why man you know my moment. Yeah, me mayon wajibul makonye. Fonse blow, fonse $1 million content. Ding and book a pussy till no problem. Why man you know.
That is Hood Prince featuring Uche, man. You're doing it big, bro. I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks a lot, man.
For real, man. The video is next level. Actually, I'm proud of all the video directors in the Gambia and all the music producers as well. Uche, you're doing great. We're proud of you, bro. And Art, the same thing. Irish, STS, everybody out there, you all are doing great, man. With this quality of video production, we're going next level, for real, man.
Next level, for real.
Yeah, man. This video, the production is one in kind, man.
Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it, to be honest.
Appreciate
That was why when I saw it, I had to link you up. I need to bring you on the show, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the music career thing, man.
Okay.
It was good, the collab you have with Uche.
Yeah.
Any future collab with other Gambian artists as well?
Yeah, I have a couple of them. Some of them are not released yet. I have Tifili.
Okay,
We are
nice.
working on the video already. I have Benek, and you know the rest are all singles.
Previously, you've done a music video with Hussein as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, bro. Let's talk about that.
That one is fire. That one is fire.
Yeah. Who did the production as well?
XD Expression. Yeah.
My brother. To be honest, our Gambian producers are doing great when it comes to the musical aspect of it as well. Any plans for Hood Kid this year or next year?
Hood Prince.
Hood Prince.
Currently, I have plans, but I want to keep them on the low to surprise the media. But
No, let's talk about it. This is the morning show.
Okay.
This is where we should talk about it, bro.
Okay, I have to drop an EP soon. That one everybody knows about it.
Any event for the EP?
No, I don't have events yet, but we are planning on it.
When do you want to do the event?
Maybe next year, because this year is already choked. You know, we have election and a lot of things, so nobody can do events like this.
For real, man. But we can do even after the election, obviously.
Yeah, after the election, maybe February, because January also is choked.
I know.
February, March going on there.
Yeah, and nice, what is your relation with Gambian artists actually? Are you guys good when it comes in terms of hooking up and communicating?
Yeah, we are good. Yeah, we are good.
And then election is just around the corner. Actually, it's not far. We just have 1 month, some weeks to go towards election, man.
Yeah.
People like you should be sending out peace message to people out there as an artist, because most of the people listen to you guys actually, and most of the youth listen to you guys as well.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the message you have to send to the Gambian people out there actually?
I think the message everybody should know is that we have to choose the right person for the country, so that the country will move forward. Because like in politics, you know, we should not listen to the politicians what they are saying. You know, they all want to be there, so they all have, you know, sweet mouth. A lot of things they will be saying for people to vote for them, but you know, we should not fall for that. We should fall for the right thing and make sure that, you know,
and vote for the right person as well. And I'm making a challenge to all Gambian artists out there. You're the mouthpiece of the Gambian youth. You're the mouthpiece of Gambia, if I could say. Most of the youth out there listening to you guys. Both the young and elderly people listen to you guys as well. I believe it's time for you to be sending out peace message to the people. Election is not far. We have a long way to go. This is the Gambia. It's our country actually. We should be showing love out there to other people as well. So I think we should all make that video, sending peace out there to people. Let's post it on Instagram, on Facebook. Exactly. So
anyway, Prince, I just want to engage you in relation to how you decided to combine education and singing. You know, most individuals just feel like they just need to sing, and just that can take them places. But you decided to combine this with your education. Why?
I felt, you know, like if you are doing music, that doesn't have to like limit you to only like music in general, because like music, especially like looking at the location we are from, like the location of streamings we need is not much. So like we have to like expand, and also like in music is really expensive to the production and all that. The videos, you need quality, the instruments and all that. So like I feel like you need to learn so that you can be able to take care of yourself and finance your production, instead of depending on other people.
Okay, so are you planning to be signed probably under a label? Because you talked about the fact that it's expensive, you can't do it
really
alone.
expensive.
To an extent that you want to be educated to be able to finance yourself. Does that mean that you do not want to go under a label or something? You just want to be independent?
Yeah, a couple of labels reached out though, but they don't have the vision I have.
Excuse me, what is your vision? Tell me your vision.
We should talk about that.
Okay.
We should. He's
What's
doing
your
it big.
vision?
I want to go international.
Okay.
Whiskey, Davido, you know, I want to be more than that.
Okay.
I want to take Gambia to the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
That is the dream of every young Gambian artist.
It's not
so highly spilla wala lan la.
No, not of 1,000 miles. Begin with
exactly.
Exactly.
No, probably the reason why he's saying
the production rate is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, the production rate is what I'm talking about. The producers I want to work with, and what the label is offering is, you know, it's not what I need, because like I can take care of myself with this what I want. So like if the labels want to sign me, they need to do something extraordinary for me. You know?
No, don't worry, I'll sign you, I'll take you international.
Feel that.
I'm going to take you international. We went to UK for tour, man. For real. Final words to your fans out there.
I just want to thank my fans for their continuous support, you know, because it's because of them I'm here today.
For real.
And I want them to keep streaming the new music video and for them to stay with me and watch out for my EP because it's going to be fire. I have a lot of surprises for you. You know, this is just the beginning. It's my moment, so stay tuned for more.
Stay with him,
Bless
man.
up, man.
Don't forget, man.
Yeah, it's
this
your
is the
moment,
Click
bro.
segment.
Yeah, man.
The morning show that comes on from Monday to Thursday. You can add me up on Instagram as Kengman Blackboy Sweezy, Facebook Sweezy B40, and Twitter Sweezy B40.
Yo, luy sa
Simple
Facebook
is
yow
easy, man.
luy sa Facebook dafa foog ne dina jaay boppam di ñu bàyyi Facebook lan mooy sa Facebook bi yow. waaw man lan mooy sama Facebook Jay Sonko. waaw suma personal Facebook bi Jay Sonko la. My page is Jenaba Sonko. Go hit me up. In fact, ñun dañ saf Twitter fan yii de. TikTok sax.
No time.
TikTok laa bëgg mën a Twitter dañ.
Comment si boy. Dama ko dee like.
Mrs. TikTok.
Thank you so much, Hood Prince, for coming. And I respect you so much for putting education forward.
First, exactly.
I always talk about this. Whatever you do, you need to be educated. Yo, tey soo waree dem jëli Grammy, yow foog nga joxe speech. Mënuloo faa dem nag di laaka loolu.
Exactly. Te education bi area bu ma nekk di def computer bi daf maa jàppale si production bi. ak yooyu noonu ak media bi and all that. So it's very important.
Yow bëgg naa nekk sa communications manager. Man kuy xalaat fu sori laa bëgg man.
Don't worry, I'll sign him.
Due to time constraints, I'm afraid we might have to let you go. One Stop Water Solution is part of our partners for all your water filters, for all of your tanks, dispensers. The number is right in front of you. Take it and contact them. They're right there at Sukuta Highway, and get all of these instruments or all of these materials that you can use to purify your water. Let's not forget that elections is around the corner. Luñ mëna def moy ñu ànd ak dal. Man ben politician mënu ma dugal.
Nañ dalal jàmm gi ci réew mi. Election bi dafa romba ñun ñooy des. So kenn bu mu la dugal.
Kenn bu man ben politician mënu ma dugal. December 4 su jotee lan la demal nga votal ko buga. Sa carte bu ko jaay yow demal rek nga votal ko buga ñibi sa kër xaar sa result buñ annoncé ñun ñëpp ñu ànda ko dimbale ko mu
bul saaga kenn bul xëccoo kenn
politicians yi sax buñ paree élection bi su jeexee dañoo nuyu wante dëkk bi jëm kanam. So till we come your way tomorrow with another exciting episode. Bye for now.
yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dunni doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni lu indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wér-gu-yaram. One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndox mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi ne bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wér gu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génne fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gat granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génne lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sellate óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wér gu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD PO1 membrane bi amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sell te wóor seeti leen One Stop Water Solution Limited suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta Highway Mariama Kunda Johnson wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272 One Stop Water Solution Limited ndox mu set mooy yàggal dund ni doomu
Novelas mi ma gunge ci sama kër gi ba xet gi ne duma toog duma tàyyi man daal de moo koy wëri parfum Novelas suñ ko bis ki kër gi xet gi day neex parfum Novelas mooy waaja lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex forest bi dafa neex saxaar ba bi dafa neex lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex Almadina boo ko pompee xet gi day gunguni lii mooy parfum Novelas parfum bi dafa neex brise marine bi ak yëpp a neex
ak Novelas féppay xeeñ neex